Dear students of class 10, welcome to our English class. Today we are going to deal with Unit 6, A Reading, Environment, and the theme of the unit is Biodiversity. The title of the lesson is Environment under Part 1. Let's understand what is biodiversity. Biodiversity means various plants and animals living in particular area sharing the natural resources. And let's understand the term environment. You can see the picture in the background, a thick forest which includes plant and animal life. So, environment means the area surrounded by a living habitat. Let's see some of the important words that we come across in the lesson. Green Belt Movement, a movement to protect environment, fodder, food for farm animals, forested, covered with forest, pristine, fresh or clean, indigenous, native, biological diversity, the variety of plants and animals in a particular place, exotic species, unusual plants. The next word, rehabilitate, means restore to health or normal by training and therapy, maybe it a plant or human. Campaign, a series of operations intended to achieve a goal confined to a particular area. Sustain, strengthen or support physically or mentally. Natural resources means resources that exist without any actions of humankind like air, water, soil, forests, etc. Here is a picture of Wangari Maathai receiving a prestigious Nobel Peace Prize. Green Belt Movement. Wangari Maathai started Green Belt Movement in African continent. This is a campaign to grow plants and stop deforestation to restore the environment in that area. This is a picture of African stool. Dear students, let's watch a wonderful video on Earth. Did you enjoy watching the video, children? This shows the importance of natural resources and their conservation. Earth is our planet. Let's protect it. Let's begin the lesson. This is an interview with Wangari Maathai, environmental activist and Nobel Prize winner. Wangari Maathai started the Green Belt movement and also fought for equal rights for women in Africa. She is the first African woman to win the Nobel Peace Prize. Read the excerpts from her interview with Nippon Hoso Kyokai Radio, Japan. This is, in a short way, NHK Radio, Japan. A question by NHK Radio. How did you become aware of the environment? Wangari Maathai replies, from the time we started, we were trying to respond to the basic needs of people in the rural areas, and people were asking for clean drinking water, for food, for energy, which is mostly firewood, for building material, for fodder for the animals, and all these come from the land. So, we knew that what the people in the rural areas were asking for had to do with the environment. They did not have those things because the environment was degraded. So, from the very beginning, we understood that we have to rehabilitate the environment. Wangari Maathai replies the question saying that they have understood the basic needs of people in the rural areas and responded accordingly to restore the environment. The forest and mountains were the source of water and the source of rain. So, when you deforest, you cause a shortage of water and a change of rainfall patterns, and therefore, people are not able to get food and water. Therefore, in order for them to have good environment that can sustain their livelihoods, it is important to have a government that accounts to them, them, that protects their interest, that is concerned about their lives. Wangari Maathai replies saying, change in rainfall patterns created shortage of water source in those areas and how it had affected the livelihood of the people over there suffering for the basic needs. In that cases, the government should come into action. Next question by NHK Radio. How is peace connected to a good environment? Wangari Maathai replies, many wars that are fought in the world are fought over natural resources. Some wars are fought because the environment is so degraded that it is not able to support communities and so they fight over the little that is left. Others are fought because some people want to take a lot of resources to control them and to keep many other people out. So there is an inequality of distribution of these natural resources. Now, whether this happens at the national level or at the regional level or even at the global level, sooner or later there is discontent. Discontent means no satisfaction. And when that discontent is strong enough, there is conflict. Conflict is nothing but a fight. So, good management of the natural resources, equitable distribution of these resources is important for peace. At the same time, good management of the natural resources is not possible if you do not have democratic space, respect for human beings, respect for human rights, giving other people dignity. Here, Wangari Maathai insists to have a democratic space and also respect for human beings and human rights. That is why the three themes are related, like the African stool with three legs and the basin on which you sit. Children, you have already observed the African stool picture. And the three legs here. One leg is peace, the other leg is good governance, the third leg is sustainable management of resources. When you have those three legs, Now you can put the basin, which is development. And if you try to balance that stool without those three, it won't happen. We have not shared our resources equitably. We have allowed some people, especially those in power, to acquire a lot at the expense of the majority. And we have also engaged in conflict. Unequal distribution of resources, natural resources, may disturb the development of that particular place and also leads to conflict. Here is a picture of African stool. The words of Wangari Maathai, which shows that one leg is for sustainable management of resources. If you imagine other leg as peace and the third one as governance and a basin over the three legs, which is referred as development. When all the three legs are properly placed under the basin, only then you can see the proper development of that particular area. So these three are required for the proper development of that area. So in the words of Wangari Maathai, she referred development with an African stool. Differences between flora and fauna. In the next paragraphs, you will get to see the words flora and fauna. Flora is nothing but plant life, and fauna is animal life. Next question by NHK Radio. What was the environment like when you were young, and how did you go about saving it? When I was a child, which is almost more than 50 years ago, the environment was very pristine, very beautiful, and very green. We were a British colony, and the British government at that time started to clear cut the indigenous forests in our forested mountains because they wanted to establish commercial plantations of exotic species of trees such as the pines from the northern hemisphere and the eucalyptus from Australia. These trees are very nice. They grow tall and they grow very fast. But as they grow, they destroy all the local biological diversity. All the flora and fauna disappeared. So, although we were getting commercial timber for the growing timber industry, we also destroyed our local flora and fauna. In this paragraph, Pangaramathai reflects the scenic beauty of the environment during her childhood days. She says that the environment was very pristine, means clear, very beautiful, and very green. And they used to reside in a British colony. And she also says that the local flora and fauna got disturbed with the exotic plants. These are the pictures of pine tree. These are the pine cones, exotic species planted in the British colony over the forested mountains of Wangari Maathai's local area. This is a picture of eucalyptus tree, grows very tall and fast, which has got many medicinal values. These are the leaves which are used to produce eucalyptus oil. As a result, these forests, which were the water towers, were no longer able to contain the water. So, when the rains fell, the water ran downstream and ended up in the lakes and oceans instead of going down into the underground reservoir so that it could come back to us in the form of rivers. One thing we noted is that not only did the rain patterns change, became less, but also the rivers started drying up. We lost our local biological diversity. So that's a lot of damage to our environment. She also says that because the forest and mountains got disturbed with the other plantations, The mountains lost the water retaining capacity, and that water ran downstream and ended up in the lakes and oceans instead of underground reservoir. Because of this, there was a huge change in the rainfall patterns, and also the rivers started drying up. Because of this, they lost the local biological diversity. So that's lot of damage occurred to their environment. That is why in 1975, at the very first United Nations Conference for Women in Mexico, many of the women were saying, we need food, we need water, we need clean drinking water, we need fodder for our animals. And I was wondering what has happened. These are the things that were there 20 years ago when I was a child. The environment had changed. And that's when I started this campaign to restore the vegetation and to restore the land and to rehabilitate the forest. Here, Wangari Maathai says that because there was a huge disturbance in the environment and also the ecological balance got disturbed, she compared the environment to her childhood days and she understood that the environment had changed. That's why she started a campaign to restore the vegetation and to restore the land and to rehabilitate the forest. That means afforestation, plantation of more number of trees on the mountains and the local areas. There ends the lesson. Under part 1, you will get to see other information in part 2. Dear students, we'll see some words under vocabulary. Here we are going to understand the different word forms. How a word from one form changes to other form. Here there is a list of words. Rehabilitate. It is a verb form, changes to a noun form as rehabilitation. Restore, restoration. Deforest, deforestation. Degrade, degradation. Distribute, distribution. Manage, management. Govern, governance. Develop, development. Engage, engagement. This is just an idea to see the transformation of verb form to noun form. Some more words here. Establish changes to establishment. Communicate, communication. Utilize, utilization. Require, requirement. Inform, information. Innovate, innovation. Adapt, adaptation. Depend, dependence. Enhance, enhancement. Coordinate, which is a verb form, changes to a noun form. Coordination. Attend, attendance. Qualify, qualification. Examine, examination. Permit, permission. Appear, appearance. Respond, response. Apply, application. Operate, operation. It is just to make you understand the transformation of verb form to noun form. Let's see the comprehension part of this lesson under part 1. What do you know about Wangari Maathai? Wangari Maathai, an environmentalist, started the Green Belt movement and also fought for equal rights for women in Africa. She's the first African woman to win the Nobel Peace Prize. Here comes the next question. What are the basic needs of people in the rural areas? The basic needs of people in the rural areas. People were asking for clean drinking water, for food, for energy, which is firewood, for building material, for fodder for the animals. Here comes the next question. How did deforestation change the rainfall pattern? The forested mountains were the source of water and the source of rain. So, when you deforest, means when you cut them, you cause a shortage of water and a change of rainfall patterns, and therefore, people are not able to get food and water. So, these are the changes brought due to deforestation, that is, change in the rainfall pattern. How did Wangari Maathai relate the three themes to the African stool? The three themes are related like the African stool with three legs and the basin on which you sit. The three legs, one leg is peace, and other leg is good governance, and the third leg is sustainable management of resources. When you have those three legs, you can put the basin, which is development. Next question. Are you comfortable living in these highly polluted areas? What kind of environment? Are you comfortable living in these highly polluted areas? What kind of environment do you prefer? Children, think once again. Go through the lesson and observe your surroundings. Give your answer. You can start the answer like this. If you're not comfortable, give your answer in this way. I'm not comfortable living in these highly polluted areas. I prefer to live. There ends the session. Students, I hope you understood the lesson and enjoyed watching the videos. Try to frame your own answers for the questions given. Go through the worksheets and practice well. Don't forget to attempt the online test. Happy learning. Thank you.